French toast is the exchange student that you have like a 3-week affair with.
Like, we can see that you don't have pants on.
Somebody hit somebody with a pie. Do something.
Giovanni yelling we're out of time as we go off the air.
Giovanni yelling a lot of things tonight.
And welcome to the Mark It Down podcast.
Hello, everybody, and welcome to the Mark It Down podcast. I am James Gisanti on this fine Tuesday night where we are here to cover NXT Roadblock. Normally, you guys know I'm not the NXT guy. I don't even know if we officially have an NXT guy, but this is a fire product, and right now I'm especially invested because we are in the midst of NXT as NXT and TNA are so embroiled in each other's product that it feels like a two-part show every week, Tuesdays and Thursdays. We saw lots of interpromotional action. Oh, don't know what that was. Sorry. We saw lots of interpromotional action tonight as we had NXT stars challenging for TNA Gold. We had TNA Gold challenging for NXT Gold. Lots of fun action. Hi, Maria. Thank you so much for being here. Much appreciated. Always welcoming you here at the Mark It Down podcast, even if it is just me tonight. But I'm enough for everybody, right? This was a lot of fun. This was a fun show. I kind of regret going to Monday Night Raw last night and not NXT tonight, but that's okay. I really enjoyed WWE last night. My body was hurting just a little too much to go to the show tonight, but it's okay. I get to be here with you guys, and I get to talk about it with you guys. So that makes it absolutely worth it. Maria saying this was the best non-premium live event NXT show ever. Wow, that is a massive claim. And you know what, Maria? I don't think I can argue with you. I don't know that I really have a big argument against that. This was a star-studded show, action-packed, 3 championship matches from start to finish, lots of action. My biggest surprise is how much they gave us tonight as opposed to next month for WrestleMania weekend at Stand and Deliver. So I'm not going to complain. If they gave us all this tonight, I can't imagine what we're going to be getting at Stand and Deliver in April. So let's get started. Let's go. Let's do this the right way, the best way, and start the night out with the TNA Tag Team Championships on the line as TNA Tag Team Champions and Superstars, the Hardys, defended against the NXT Tag Team Champions, Fraxium. As Fraxium put it in their promo battle with the Hardys last week, the best tag team of all time versus the best tag team of today. You guys know, Jeff Hardy, my favorite wrestler of all time. Favorite wrestler of all time. I love Jeff. I love the Hardys. They are my favorite tag team of all time. I am loving how well they're doing in TNA. Oh, Maria, you're absolutely right. This was a hell of an opener for this company. I love the Hardys, and I love the resurgence they've had in TNA. Obviously, there's a little bit of a floundering in AEW, unfortunately, given to Jeff's issues, them not being able to overcome, and them just, I guess, not feeling like they were going to get the opportunities they felt they deserved in AEW. But they are thriving in TNA. They are so over. And in fact, they're moving like they're the Hardy Boys of old. These aren't old Hardys. These are the Hardys. And it's great to see. And Fraxium is a team that I am becoming more and more aware of because of their constant TNA appearances. They've defended the titles against the Rascals. They've appeared on TNA TV quite a bit, and just that has made me more aware of them and checking them out in NXT. So this was a match I was very, very excited for. Maria saying the Hardys found the fountain of youth tonight. Maria, they've been bathing in it for a while now. They have been backstroking their way through the fountain of youth because, my God, they are just operating on such a high level. And yes, there is some bias on my part. I won't deny that. But I think they're, quite frankly, killing it. So I'm not going to look a gift horse in the mouth. I'm just happy we're getting this. But this match was a lot of fun. Non-stop action. basic. All right, no pun intended there with TNA, but just action from bell to bell as the Hardys and Fraxium were moving so fast, so rapidly, so energetically. It was hard to keep up. Fraxium getting an early lead, just diving on the Hardys on the outside. It felt like a nonstop parade between these two young men as Nathan Frazier and Axiom just kept bringing the fast-paced offense to the Hardys. Eventually, the Hardys getting some steam back, building some offense of their own, mounting some offense, and we saw a little bit more of a back and forth. I'd say the match turned when Nat caught, I believe it was Nathan Frazier on the outside. He had done an outside dive, and Nat caught him into a side effect on the outside. From that point, we saw the Hardys begin to take the lead as Matt and Jeff go for the plot twist. I love their new tag finisher, the plot twist. We saw multiple twists of fate. Eventually, the finish coming as Axiom misses Jeff Hardy with a huge missile dropkick from the top rope and instead hits his partner. After hitting Frazier and knocking him down, Matt sends Axiom out of the ring, and then Jeff hits a massive Swanton bomb. 1, 2, 3, and still your TNA Tag Team Champions, the Hardys. Again, a lot of fun. Great way to start the show at MSG tonight, which let's acknowledge 2 nights at MSG for WWE. Very big deal. A lot of fun. A lot of energy. I know some people were complaining about the MSG crowd last night. I'll be honest, it was pretty loud when I was there. And they were in a smaller section of MSG tonight in the Hulu Theater, or I guess they're just calling it the theater now. I actually made this exact joke earlier in the show, Danny. I go back, check it out, made this exact joke for you. But the energy was palpable for this show. The Hardys kicked this off the right way. No, let me say that. Both of these teams kicked this show off the right way with a lot of fun, a lot of energy. And I was breathing heavy. I was really nervous because I told my podmates who were not watching that I thought it was really possible that the Hardys might have dropped the TNA tag titles to Fraxium. I'm very glad that didn't happen. Not because I don't like Fraxium, but I would not want the Hardys to be the first real title loss in the NXT war. So let's see if that changes later tonight. But great opener, a lot of fun, great tag team action. We then go backstage with Jada Parker and former LFG, maybe, I don't know, she's still currently an LFG coach, but LFG coach Mickie James. Mickie is giving Jada a pep talk, telling her to reach out for everything she wants. Do not hesitate. Don't take no for an answer. And this was a nice, teachable moment from the veteran Mickie James to the up-and-coming Jada Parker. I thought it was a nice little segment. We then go elsewhere backstage as the family, well, not all of the family, but a portion of the family, are discussing their recent woes. Stax is having a conversation with Luca and Adriana backstage, saying that he blames himself for letting Tony D'Angelo go out and lose the title. Tony comes out, joins them, and says that Stax tells Stax that emotion is a sign of weakness. D'Angelo then says they are all at their best when they have a game plan. Stax then says he already spoke to Ava, and he, Luca, and Rizzo are going to be facing Brooks, Nico, and Izzy of the Culling. We'll talk about them a little bit later next week. Tony then asks where he is in all of this, and Stax says that he's just worried about Tony D'Angelo's back. D'Angelo then says his back is fine, but he is okay with this, and he'll sign off on next week's match. Little bit of trouble in paradise there with the family, and I'm not sure if Danny is still with us, but I'm sure he would agree. Stop breaking up these acts in NXT. If they're over, send them to the main roster. If you want to break them up, break them up there. Whatever. We then go to women's action as we have Roxanne Perez taking on Jordan Grace. I'm not sure what Roxanne Perez is still doing in NXT. I'm fairly certain she's been on the main roster for a little while now. So if you guys want to tell me if this is just her finishing up her obligations to NXT before becoming a full-time main roster member, please let me know. But I'm very excited that we got this matchup. A rematch, if I'm not mistaken, because Roxanne and Jordan faced each other in TNA when Roxanne was still the NXT Women's Champion and Jordan was still the Knockouts Champion, and Jordan was challenging for the NXT Women's Championship. Jordan failed there, but rectified that loss tonight as the Juggernaut overcame Roxanne Perez, the former NXT Women's Champion, in a dominant fashion, getting the win and setting up for just future momentum on the NXT brand. I'm sure you guys, if you've been fans of Jordan for a long enough time, have seen that there have been changes in her physique, changes in her presentation, and she has been working very, very hard to get there. She used to be a much bigger, more bulky star. Now she's a lot leaner. She still has the muscle. She still has all of the body parts that are things that I could not achieve, but she's definitely slimmed down, and I think her ring work is reflecting that. She was a little more agile, in my opinion. She was a little more fluid, and a lot of that comes from reducing mass. So if this is what Jordan wants her new style to be, it's definitely effective, and it's definitely working. So good on Jordan Grace, good on Roxanne Perez. A great matchup here on Roadblock. Maria saying, these women are the future faces of the women's division. Absolutely. I think Roxanne is almost without a doubt going to the main roster very, very soon. Probably by probably WrestleMania being the a little loud, pal.
Hey, how's it going?
I'm good. There's some background noise on you, but I think we're good. I'm assuming you were at the show tonight.
Yes, I was at the show. I'll make it quick because I am on the Long Island Railroad and I forgot my earbuds. And also, none of the chargers are working on here, and I'm running low on battery. But in person, it was a great show. The tickets weren't terrible either. Like, we got the 300 section, which was the highest section we got for tickets under $50 an hour before the show.
Oh, we might have
I would
lost
say my
Matt
only
there.
disappointment was that Taker wasn't there in person.
Yeah.
You'll get to that. Like, he's on the. Are you under the weather? You look like you're about to sneeze.
No.
No. Okay. But I wish Taker had come to the ring. That would have been cool.
From what I know, Taker was at MSG last night. I believe they filmed that yesterday.
Okay, then just make it a surprise. Like, don't tell us the Taker's going to be there. You know what I mean?
Yeah, no, that's fair. That's absolutely fair.
That's what they do with Mickie James. Mickie James, I don't think she was announced, and she showed up in a backstage segment, and people were happy to see her.
I think the idea, for those in attendance, I understand how that's a problem. I think they were doing that for people to tune in and watch.
I get it.
I get it. You have every right to be disappointed, but I don't think that advertisement was for you. I think it was for the viewers at home for the CW.
That's fair.
But
still,
what was your?
Still about. Sorry, keep going.
No, you're good. What was your favorite match of the night, or favorite bit of the night?
Oh, I missed the first 5 minutes of the Hardy match.
Okay.
So, but maybe that one. Yeah.
Yeah, I thought the Hardys versus Fraxium was great. I don't think there was a stinker on the show tonight. I think every match delivered.
Yeah, it's actually really funny. One of the lines I wanted to do tonight was like, when a stinker came on, if a stinker came on, I was going to say, I missed Daredevil for this? But it never happened.
It's never too late. Thank you, streaming. But yeah, man, I'm sorry you didn't get to hit your line, but I'm glad you got a really good show out of this.
Yeah, I'm hoping we've got enough footage to make something out of it. It was a good show. Glad we were there. But I'm going to let you continue reviewing this so I don't disturb all the people on the train.
All right. You have a good night. Have a safe trip, and I'm glad you had a good time.
Thanks. Gotta believe.
Later, pal. Good old Matt, always working hard for the Mark It Down podcast. But back to it. Yeah, I'm very happy to see this change for Jordan. As Maria was saying in the comments, these two women are the future. I think Jordan is guaranteed, like, we are going to get her on the main roster within the year. She is there just to, put some time in to say she was in NXT. I could see her having a match with Vaquer, and then heading straight up from there. But very excited for the future of women's wrestling in every company. But right now, NXT is killing it. But moving past that excellent match, we go backstage to what Matt was just talking about. As we're preparing for the NXT World Championship match, we see Moose making his way down the hallway, and then when it's Oba's turn, he is met with a familiar face, the Dead Man, the Undertaker. The Undertaker appearing in NXT, telling Oba that he's been watching him, and he's impressed. Undertaker says he doesn't have to tell Oba how important this match is, but he will tell him that he needs to go out and defend his yard. Oba and Taker then fist bump to end the segment. And wow, if that is not an endorsement, I don't know what is. You guys know I am a huge Oba Femi guy. My time with him has not been long, but from the moment I laid eyes on this guy to now, I see he is a superstar. He is a super stud. And I am waiting for the ascension. Just absolutely waiting. Maria saying this was better than advertised. I agree. I mean, I feel for people like Matt who were there at MSG and were hoping to see Taker in person. I get it. But I thought that was a great way of doing it. Godzilla versus King Kong. I agree. The kaiju battle of the ages. You know me. I love my big, meaty men slapping each other's meat. I think it's one of the most fun forms of professional wrestling. And I think this match absolutely delivered on that front. I love Oba. I am a TNA guy, so there's a part of me that has to cheer for Moose, heel or not in this situation. But man, did they deliver, over deliver. They beat the crap out of each other. They displayed unbelievable feats of strength. Oba straight up overhead military pressing Moose to the outside. We saw some big drops. We saw some big spots, and these men just brought the pain to one another. There was Moose sending Femi crashing to the ring post and then through the announce desk with a massive choke slam. He then hits a spear, only getting a two. Oba then gets up and hits a power bomb onto Moose. He hits another one, and then 1, 2, 3. Oba Femi retains the NXT Championship. Guys, I cannot cover this properly. There is just so much action. There was so much brutality. There was so much meat. Go watch it. This was a great matchup. Maria in the comments saying that Moose is the most underrated big man in the game. Look, I'm hard-pressed to argue with you, Maria. Moose has a very unique style. And we got to remember, Moose has come a long way in terms of physique. He used to be a lot heavier. He used to be a lot bulkier. He definitely had that football player build, but he has tightened up. He looks like a champion. He carries himself like a champion, and he wrestles like a monster. So Moose has a very unique running style, a very unique dropping style. He can take you down in multiple ways, and he has. This was a great matchup that could have gone either way between either the X Division champion, Moose of TNA, or the NXT World Champion, Oba Femi. It went Oba's way, but there's no guarantee when that rematch hits, and it will. I mark my word, I got a strong feeling one day they will wrestle again. There's no guaranteeing Oba's going to go 2-0. Strong matchup. Great way to keep this crowd invested and to keep the action going. I didn't even, that is my bad. I didn't even put the little header down there, but you guys know what I'm talking about. We then go to a vignette where Zarya and Sol Ruka are going through sort of a training session. As Zarya takes Sol Ruka to a rage room, a wrecking room, where they just demolish stuff. They go to axe throwing, and they're very much building the camaraderie. It was a cute little segment. And again, as Maria pointed out before, The women's division is in very good hands and is developing beautifully. We then go backstage where we see Ava Raine, the head of NXT, along with Fatal Influence. They are met by Ricky Saints, formerly known as Ricky Starks. Fatal Influence leaves after Saints shows up. Ricky asks for a match next week against Ridge Holland, which Ava agrees to. It's at this point that Ethan Page then passes by and sort of talks trash on his way to the ring. Ethan, I'm rooting for you, kid, in life. You're a nice guy, and I don't want you to get overlooked by all this talent that is in NXT right now. So fight for your life. Fight for your life. And speaking of fighting for his life, we went to a street fight as Ethan Page took on Javon Evans. Now, my only exposure to Javon before this was when he faced Randy Orton. That was a fun matchup. That was a real coming out party for Javon. I had no idea who he was before then. I very quickly caught on to why he's becoming such a project in NXT, and tonight was another showcase of that. He and Ethan fought like hell. They beat the piss out of each other. They did everything they could to hurt each other. There were table spots, there were chair spots, there was weapons, there was high flying, there was everything. Without a doubt, the most exciting match of the night. Maybe not the best match, but absolutely the one with the most high flying action. We have a comment from Maria saying that this match stole the show. You know what, Maria? I don't disagree. I don't disagree. And good on Ethan Page. Good on Javon Evans. On a show that has NXT and TNA, you're outshining two companies. So bravo to them, these two young men. The finish coming as Javon Evans wraps a chair around Ethan Page's head and neck. He sort of just puts Ethan through like the hole of the chair, of the folding chair. He then hits a flying OG cutter off the ropes, hitting him and dropping Page onto the chair. It was brutal, but it was beautiful. And we get the 1-2-3 as Javon gets the big win in front of the New York crowd. After the match, though, there was some chaos. The lights go out and the spotlight focuses on these NXT ruffians. I don't know if they have a group name yet. I'm not sure, but it's Dion Lennox, Osiris Griffin, Cutler James, and Saquon Sugars. And they just demolished Evans, who did everything he could to fight back, but the numbers game was too rough. All four men then take Evans out into the ring and hit him with a huge powerbomb type move. Very Shield reminiscent, and I am sure we're going to be following the story for a while in NXT. Maria saying that Javon was like Rey Mysterio out there. Absolutely. This kid is a high flyer of the highest degree. Maria also saying she didn't like this segment because it gave Retribution vibes. I get how you get there. And quite frankly, it's a very real fear. But just for argument's sake and for positivity's sake, once upon a time before the Retribution stuff really fell apart, people compared it to the debuts of the Shield or the debut of the Shield. Just because you have a mob mentality gimmick where these guys just come in and run roughshod over the baby faces doesn't mean that it is anything too similar. I'm willing to give it time. I'm willing to give it a little bit of grace. But yes, you could very easily fall the way of Retribution. And hopefully these kids don't fall into that trap. So totally understandable. We then go to a promo backstage, or not really a promo backstage. This was a vignette. As the culling, led by the chairman himself, Sean Spears, talks about their feud, him winning the NXT North American Championship last week from Tony D'Angelo, which congratulations to Sean Spears winning his first TV singles title in any company he's been in, WWE or AEW or anywhere. This is the first time he's ever held a singles title on TV in any major company. So bravo to Spears. But yes, he's joined by Brooke Jensen, Nico Vance, and Izzy Dane. And they all talk about their plan to take out the family next week. That Sean took the gold last week, and next week they're taking the heart. So we have a new group in NXT, the Cullen. We then go ringside to an interview with Eddie Thorpe, where Eddie Thorpe is with Sarah Schreiber, and the crowd is just eating him up. They're discussing the underground match that he's going to have with Trick Williams next week. Eddie is talking his shit. He's talking his garbage. And he is saying that Trick doesn't want this when Trick runs out of nowhere and hits a massive running chop to the back of Thorpe. Trick then drags Thorpe to the ringside and tosses him all over the place. He then hits Thorpe with a major clothesline and gets the crowd just absolutely pumping. The match next week, underground match. I have PTSD from it thinking about Raw Underground, but I've been told NXT has done it a lot better. So willing to give them some grace on this as well. But we're moving to the main event. And boy, what a main event it was as we went title for title as the NXT North American Women's Champion, Stephanie Vaquer, took on the NXT Women's Champion, Julia. Now, let's be real. I know NXT is the place to go for women's action. We all know that right now. Don't get me wrong. AEW is killing it with quite possibly the greatest women's storyline in all of women's professional wrestling, with Toni Storm and Mariah May, that they just finished their story at Revolution this past weekend. But in terms of just pure consistency, in terms of just pure booking, NXT is in a league of its own right now. Sean is absolutely killing it with the women's division. And these two women have just been a force in not just their division, but in the entire roster since debuting for the company. Stephanie and Julia. So to see them both win titles so quickly was not a surprise to anybody. The big surprise for me was this felt like a match that should have been saved for Mania. Title for title between your two biggest acts in the division, I would have waited. But I'm very happy for my New York brethren, very happy for this MSG crowd because they got a banger. Absolute banger. Again, this is another one. I'm not going to waste your time trying to cover everything. There was just so much great action, so many familiar spots. Obviously, Stephanie hit her head thumping bit to Julia at one point. These women killed it. The finish coming after Stephanie hitting her package backbreakers like 2 times in a row just to ensure the win, getting the 1, 2, 3, and becoming a double champion. I don't know what this means for Julia. I don't know if this means she's going up to the main roster immediately. I don't know if this means they're going to bring her up at like the Raw after Mania, maybe. But bravo to both of these women. They, on a show, again, I was talking about it before, on a show that had so much talent from multiple companies, that had multiple championships on the line, this match deserved to main event. This match deserved to be at the top of the card. I don't think anybody had the aura that these two had, and that's saying a lot on a show with Oba Femi. Maria saying that we've had an excellent few days of women's wrestling. Preach, sister. Absolutely. Great time to be a fan of women's wrestling. But yeah, these two women absolutely killed it. What up, Dev? Thank you for being here, pal. Very happy to have you. I hope you enjoyed the show tonight. I'm sorry you're catching us at the end a little bit, but I hope you enjoyed NXT if you got to see it. But yeah, guys, I thought NXT Roadblock was an excellent, excellent show. Just pure, like, for 2 hours of wrestling, it was action-packed, it was jam-packed, it was nonstop, and I think they just killed it. Whether it was a tag team title match, the men's world title match, the women's title for title bout, or even just the non-title matches like Jordan and Roxanne and the street fight with Javon and Ethan, just absolutely killing it. I know we don't cover NXT as much as we should, but I'm really questioning why. Because just consistently such a top-tier product. But guys, thank you so much for checking us out. Dev, again, I'm sorry you're catching us at the end here a little bit, but if you can, go check out NXT. I saw you were sleeping, so I hope you're having a good morning, waking up somewhere. But yeah, I thoroughly enjoyed myself, and I thoroughly enjoyed spending my evening with you fine folks. I thought any of these matches could have been match of the night. I think the women's match was just peak. I love the tag team match. I thought the meaty men match between the X Division champion and the world champion was hot. And it's just a matter of time before we see somebody, sorry for the catchphrase, cross the line and somebody captures a belt from another company. Have a good night, Maria. Thank you so much for joining us, and I'm glad you enjoyed the show tonight. But you guys know the deal. If you're new here and you're just checking us out for the first time, thank you. I don't know what brought you here, but I hope you stick around. We cover a lot. We'll be covering AEW Dynamite tomorrow. I'll be covering Impact on Thursday. Unfortunately, I don't think I'm going to be able to cover the pay-per-view on Friday for TNA, but that's okay. We cover everything. WWE, AEW, TNA. When stuff is big in Ring of Honor, we cover it there. When stuff is huge in New Japan, we cover it there. So, yeah, we're all over the place. If you're one of our regulars like Maria or Dev, thank you so much for being part of this awesome, awesome group of people. And, yeah, you know the deal. We're all over social media. Go check us out there. We're not just having fun on YouTube. We're having fun everywhere. Check us out. Facebook. Check us out. Blue Sky. Check us out. Instagram. Check us out. X. Check us out. TikTok. I think I said all of them. There might be another. I don't know. But go check it out. Everybody, thank you so much. Have a great night. I am James Giusanti. This is the Mark It Down podcast. As always, watch wrestling. And in this instance, watch NXT. Later, guys.